我谢谢。
Good morning, good morning. It's so great to be with you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. You are listening to the Liberty Revolt on 1360 KHNC, your morning show every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here in beautiful Johnstown, Colorado, in partnership with Pride Roofing and Construction. My boys right here. And man, it is so great to be a part of this community, a part of the fight for liberty in Northern Colorado and worldwide. Tuning in on the website 1360 KHN. Say, Kevin,
Yes.
good morning, my man.
Good morning. Good morning. It is great to be here once again. I just love doing this, man. It's so much fun. Yeah, no, we've been talking today. You know, we've kind of been exploring a lot the ideas of morality and the importance of things like shame and guilt and everything, and encouraging a strong community and a strong being good motivating factors. And when you're talking about morality, you brought up this morning the idea of the traitor,
being the most
moral
man.
Yeah.
So this is an excerpt from Atlas Shrugged's John Galt's speech. There's a part in the book where everyone is expecting the president of the country to come out and make some announcement, and the radio waves get hijacked by the mysterious John Galt, and this is just a part of that speech. The symbol of all relationships among rational men, the moral symbol of respect for human beings, is the traitor. We who live by values, not by loot, are traitors, both in matter and in spirit. A traitor is a man who earns what he gets and does not give or take the undeserved. A traitor does not ask to be paid for his failures, nor does he ask to be loved for his flaws. A traitor does not squander his body as fodder or his soul as alms. Just as he does not give his work except in trade for material values, so he does not give the values of his spirit, his love, his friendship, his esteem, except in payment and in trade for human virtues, in payment for his own selfish pleasure, which he receives from men he can respect. The mystic parasites who have throughout the ages reviled the traitors and held them in contempt while honoring the beggars and the looters have known the secret motive of their sneers. A traitor is the entity they dread, a man of justice.
This is an incredibly important thing to say, because when you look at who is the most moral among us, it is those who have guiding principles based not on the use of force, based not on the use of deceit or any other means, but rather the use of everyday voluntary interactions in order to gain. It's Ayn Rand really puts forth this idea of greed being actually a good when used in the capitalist system, because the greed is always going to be an issue. Greed is always going to be something that causes issues amongst, especially in a capitalist system, right? If the idea being that people are going to be greedy and greed is never going to be satiated, but if the only way you can get people's money is voluntarily, then that means to be greedy, you have to be innovative. To be greedy, you have to provide people with something that makes them want to give you their money and continue to do so.
And so in this sense, seeking to make money is a good thing, right? And this is kind of part of it's from the same book, Atlas Shrugged. One of the things that one of the most profound parts of the book is a speech that this character Francisco D'Antonio gives about money. It's called the Money Speech, and in it he basically talks about how money is a tool which people can trade with each other voluntarily, just a medium of exchange, and that money is not necessarily the root of all evil, but in some ways actually the root of all good. And I was thinking about this, and I actually wrote a little piece last night, is because in the speech she says, the idea that striving to make money is the proudest distinction of Americans. And so I think when Francisco considers the drive to make money the proudest distinction of Americans, is because of the inherent morality of a society that places the concept of voluntary trade and profit as a foundational feature. Money is simply a representation of stored value and a medium of exchange, and it facilitates the process of free individuals pursuing their own rational self-interest by means of innovation, production, and voluntary exchange with respect to the sovereignty and autonomy of those whom he must cooperate with to achieve his own ambitions. Money acts as an alternative to survival by loot or by mooch, and the drive to make money creates a society that incentivizes the use of the mind for the satisfaction of sovereign individuals instead of the use of force, and thus creates a society which acts towards the liberation and flourishing of mankind instead of towards the enslavement and exploitation of mankind.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said there. The whole idea that money is the root of all evil. Look, unless you're going to make the claim that prior to the advent of money, humans interacted nothing but peacefully and prosperously and shared everything, all this other stuff. No, money came about because of there needed to be an alternative way to interact with people because the way it was occurring was not good enough. So something had to be done to improve it, and money was the improvement of that. Before the advent of money, you just took. If you had greater force, you had might made right at that point. And what money did is took away the might makes right concept.
And some people, you hear the claim money is the root of all evil. The implication there is that without money, there wouldn't be evil. But we know that's not true because there's tremendous evil that exists in the world without a profit motive, right? Yep. This man in LA just stabbed a random woman working at a furniture store to death and then stumbled outside and took a nap. That's an act of evil. There was no profit incentive.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Liberty Revolt on 1360 KHNC.
Hoya, owner of New Method Cleaners, Northern Colorado's oldest dry cleaners, family owned and operated since 1970.
We have a listener from Kenya. Holy crap. Wafula, sure, we are happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. Wow. I am impressed at the increase in our global reach here, Buckaroo. It's pretty.
I'm telling you, we have an audience in South Korea. I'm not exaggerating that. I actually had someone send me an email and say, hey, I like your show. I live in South Korea. His name was like Kim Song or something.
Dude, that's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. Janine, that game last night, the Chiefs and Bills, was one of the greatest football games I have ever seen. As much as I wanted to see the Bills move on just out of some level of parity, I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad that the Chiefs won because it was insane.
Okay.
Or
real
Tracy.
Quick,
sorry. I said Janine. I meant Tracy.
What intro music should we use? Maybe not this segment. I don't think I can pull it up fast enough, but comment down below what intro music you would like to hear us use on our radio show. Last hour was playing a bunch of K-pop and kind of getting grief from my compatriot across the studio.
Look, I'm considering who's listening to our show, all right? We have a bit of a, this station has a bit of an older demographic. Here
white people in their 60s, old conservative.
No, we actually have a good following in like the 30s to 40s range. I get a lot of people. I get millennials. Millennials like our show.
All right. Anyways, you guys got 20 seconds to recommend some music, and then I want to dive back into this whole idea of: is money the root of all evil? Is the person who engages in trade the most moral form of man, the superior man? Now, I am coming to the realization that indeed the person motivated by money and trading with others is a superior person than the person who claims to hold altruism and fairness as the highest virtue. Because if you look at the results of those motives and methods, I think you will find that the capitalist that seeks to achieve success in his own domain by the use of his rational mind to innovate, to produce, and engage in what is known as the economic means to wealth, or by participating in the production and exchange process, will produce greater value to the broader society than the person who is offended by the profit motive, who is offended by those who seek to make money and act in ways that are antagonistic to producers and innovators, and instead try to use the regulation of government, the use of force to impose their idea of altruism and fairness on the broader society. Because let's be clear, it's almost impossible to do good by force, right?
Yeah.
Giving charity is a great and moral act, but to go down the street and to rob one man
To mandate it.
to pay off somebody else is not moral.
Yeah, no. You have to ask the question: why do people on the radical left believe in the socialism? Why would someone believe in socialism as an answer? Why? What is it about socialism that provides them with the facade of morality?
Because they have fallen for the fallacy that we are the government, and thus the government can act as the collective will.
That's part of it too. But there's also some other understandings involved, such as they understand that charitable donation is good, right? But it's very difficult to be charitable. It's very difficult to give away what you have, and you don't necessarily want to do it if you don't necessarily want to do it if you feel like you're going to be the only one. I don't know. But there's the idea of charity and then making charity the law. No, it's supposed to be voluntary. And there's a reason why the wealthiest among us are also the most charitable. And it's not just because of the tax breaks. It's because people generally speaking, people like to help other people if they can. People like to, most of the people you interact with are going to want to try to help you if you show them that the help is worth it. It's what it comes down to, though, is that a lot of people aren't just going to willy-nilly go out there and be like, you know what, I'm going to keep giving you money just because, even if you keep squandering it. No, they want to see some kind of return on their investment into you. If I'm going to invest in my community through charitable donations, I want to see a return on my investment, and that my community grows in a positive way as a result of it. My community becomes better as a result of my charitable donations.
Well, and I mean, let's remember that money represents a store of value.
Yeah.
And when people are giving charity, in a lot of sense, they're giving charity because they want the value that comes from being a generous person.
Exactly.
Because there is value in it.
Yeah.
Right? It is consummate with man's nature to feel good to give.
Yeah.
Right? And people, and there's reason for it. It's because generous people tend to prosper more. I mean, what is true wealth? I was thinking not too long ago about what it means to be truly wealthy. And I would say that I am a wealthy person, regardless of the fact that I may not have that much money. But why am I wealthy? Well, for the last decade of my life, I've been developing positive, mutually beneficial, reciprocal relationships with people around me. I've been treating people right. I try to sum it up like this. I try to do things that don't make people want to punch me in the face. I try to be a generous person.
You're very bad at that. I want to punch you in the face a lot.
Yeah. Well, you are someone who really just celebrates the use of force and violence.
That is all I'm about.
I strive to be the kind of person that if you're in a situation and you call me and ask for help, that I'm there. And I understand the consequences of that is first, if any reason I were to lose my family, my job, my health, all at once, I am surrounded by people who would be opening doors to make sure that their pal Bucky was taken care of, because I've been fostering these good relationships with people. And what more could you want to? I mean, is that not what it means to be truly wealthy? To know that no matter what happens to you, that you are surrounded by a social safety net of individuals who genuinely care, who are genuinely invested in your success.
Yeah.
My biggest dilemma, if I were to end up homeless, is do I want to sleep at the couch at Kevin's house, or do I want the queen-sized bed at my buddy's spare bedroom?
Yeah. No, and what it comes down to is like there's been an increase in depression. There's been an increase in people feeling directionless. People. I don't think that is disassociated with the failing of placing value in these virtues and placing value in these kind of moral feelings. I don't think that it's wrong to say that there's a reason why depression is increasing at the same time people do not feel motivated by societal pressures around them. It makes you feel good to know that people appreciate you, that people enjoy having you around. That is something that provides meaning to your life. Mm-hmm. And it's not to say that all sense of meaning should come from your community, but that is an important part of it, right? Mm-hmm. You will find meaning internally, and there is external forces to it. Internally, I want to be the best person I can be, because externally, people enjoy being around people that are motivated, that are driven, that are out there trying to do good in their community, do good in the world, and it helps build strong relationships. And there is an incredibly important facet of the social bonding that we have. The same way that our media has become nationalized, our politics have become nationalized, right? We care about what's going on in the world, what's going on, 1,000 miles from us in Washington, D.C. It's the same thing with our social media, right? Before social media, you kept up with your friends maybe on a phone call, maybe at high school reunions and stuff like that. But other than that, if you wanted social interaction, you had to look in your neighborhood around you. You had to look at your next door neighbors. You had to look at your church community. That's the only place you could get that kind of those social benefits because of social media.
That's why social media isolate. I see where you're going. This is why social media isolates people, because it allows you to extract that information
and that interaction
from a distance without actually interacting. When there was a time when if I wanted to know what was going on with, so-and-so and his wife, I would give so-and-so and his wife a phone call. Now we are able to get the observation of what's going around us socially without socially engaging.
Yep.
And it's inherently isolated.
And if you needed to talk to someone, like, look, today I just need to have a personal interaction with someone. You used to have to go down to your church or to your bar or go knock on a house, knock on your neighbor's door, be like, hey Frank, I was wondering if you wanted to watch the game together, kind of deal, right? Now, all you have to do is go on social media and start commenting on someone's post. You never have to leave your house. You never have to see those in your community. And I'm guilty of this by a lot, right? The reason why I'm pointing this out and I'm noticing it is because I'm wondering what's going wrong in my life, why it is that why I personally struggle so much to interact. I'm trying to do better about it, but it's become very difficult because of how nationalized our social lives have become, how distant our social lives have become.
And the diminishment of the individual and the relationship between the individual and their immediate community.
Exactly.
So this just kind of sparked just a thought in me, and I know this seems a little bit off topic, but I don't think it is. So I was operating a booth at the home show this weekend, and on the second night, one of my New Year's resolution was to keep a what I call a sales journal and to document my development as an aspiring salesperson. And so I decided to write down lessons that I learned from operating a booth, and I'm watching how other people operated and what seemed to be working. I've learned some valuable lessons about operating a booth at various events. Number one, be proactively engaged with pedestrians. A simple hello, how are you is not enough. If you want to maximize engagement, then do it. This is the golden rule of sales, and it's the same golden rule as life. Treat others as you want to be treated. If you want someone to talk to you, talk to them. If you want someone to give you something, give something to them. Tell people exactly what you want first. Hey, I would like a moment of your time. I want to understand you better. I want to see if there's the potential for us to have a mutually beneficial relationship, and in return, I will give you a moment of my time.
Yeah.
And it's just this golden rule of treating others how you wish to be treated. I think also is relevant in what we are talking about right now. That if you want to feel connection with your community, if you want to feel connection with others, then to actually strive for it. And if you want people to, if you want to have a good life, you want to have a good society, then go out there and make society better. And if you engage in this, if you are someone who is a good trader, both in material and in spirit, right? If you're someone who goes out there and seeks to provide value for value in exchange, you're going to make society a better place.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what it comes down to is, like us right here, we're on the radio. We come out here and we talk to people every morning, and we try to contribute new ideas, new thoughts, new perspectives on how to look at stuff. And then from here, you go out and you knock door to door trying to sell people roofs. But in the process of selling people roofs, you are having to interact with people face to face. You're having to talk to people. You're having to get to know people. And I'm sure you come across instances where you're talking to someone on their door and they start talking to you about something completely way separate from roofs, and you continue in that conversation because you're like, well, if
I actually strive for it.
Yeah, if we can talk about it and they can connect and see that I'm a real person, they might choose to use me for their roof. And it's just good. It feels good to give someone that social interaction that so many people may not even know that they're dying for nowadays.
Now, not to make this radio show all about sales, but I've actually been learning a tremendous amount, and I've been documenting what I've been learning throughout this process. And one of the things that I really love about doing door-to-door sales is that I get to go around and just step into the window of somebody else's life
momentarily, dude,
for a moment, all day long. And gosh, I'm going to tell you guys, if I do door-to-door sales for another couple of years, I will have talked to every homeowner in northern Colorado. I'm not joking. And I meet so many fascinating people. And one of the things I tell people is, I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to build a relationship with you because I'm genuinely proud of the company that I work for, right? I think that their business model is oriented around being honest with people and actually providing value. On the first sales training day that I ever met, that they were like, do not go on somebody's roof and then come down and exaggerate about damage. Do not act like these storm chasers who fly up from Oklahoma and try to strong arm somebody into an insurance claim that is likely frivolous and then disappear. Our business model is to rely on our reputation.
Yeah.
Right. If you are principled people who put honesty and the providing investment in their community first, then the rest of your job is just to go around and introduce yourself to the community and make sure everybody knows who you are and that those are indeed your values, and then to live that forward. And so when you're engaged in sales, essentially what you're doing is you're approaching a stranger with their own set of skepticisms and objections, and you're breaking down barriers and connecting with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Liberty Revolt here on 1360 KHNC. Stay tuned.
So you're listening to
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please let me know if there's some specific intro music that you would like to see me play over the radio. Otherwise, it's nothing but hard rock video game covers for you, my friend. But I do love our video game rock music.
I can barely hear you over the commercials, bro.
Oh, really? Let me check my mic out. What do I got going on here? Is this mic not picking me up well?
Oh, wait. It's me. There we go.
Oh, my goodness. You are listening to the Whack Ass Report on 1360 KHNC, where we're still striving to get our shit together on live radio.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we're doing a lot better. I'm actually getting people who know who we are every once in a while.
I do run into that. That's another thing I run into going door to door is occasionally I'll see some house and they've got like 3%er flags and like don't tread on me and all, arrest the banksters, stickers on their cars and stuff. And I'll knock on the door. I'll be like, hey, I'm Bucky Dillon. And they're like, oh, I know you. I'm like, great. Let me on your roof.
Great. Let me sell you some stuff. Let me get some sales. No, I think sales is actually a really good way of being able to tell. It requires that you be personable, and it requires that you actually get out there. And when I knocked doors for Corey Gardner, I found like they would tell us try to keep the conversations 3 to 5 minutes, and I'd be like, okay, cool, gotcha, and then I'd end up spending like 10 to 15 minutes with people.
Totally wrong. That's totally wrong. The longer you're in a conversation with somebody, I've been noticing that if you can just break the 3-minute mark, the chances of you being successful are drastically more likely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like part like similar to the sunken cost fallacy, but it just seems that like once you've got someone to invest that much time in you, they're going to cooperate with you.
Yeah, well, they've decided that you're somebody that they don't hate, and that's key number one. Be someone that they don't hate, and then with time, you can be someone that they like. Ooh. I think we're coming back.
I'm pure-blooded. Dude, this is my favorite comment of the day. And I mean it. I think the trader, Trader, someone who engages in free and voluntary trade with others to mutually beneficial ends, is the superior man, is the moral man. And I think that in order to be a trader, you actually have to be a salesman. Now, it's interesting because people think of salesmen and you immediately get like this, this guy is going to talk me into giving him something. This is an exploiter. This is
the used car salesman,
this
Bucky.
This is someone who's manipulative with their words. I think there's tremendous honor in being a salesman.
Well, I think that, there's a reason the stigma exists, because at the end of the day, there must always be you must have some kind of moral backing, or it's going to be misused, right? And so there's, the used car salesman, for example. Like there's a reason why that's kind of a something that's stigmatized, because there are people that use that ability to talk with others to deceive and to manipulate. Hey, yeah, this thing's only got 140,000 miles on it. Well,
but to Ayn Rand's point, we don't just interact with our neighbors once, right? She says that in the money speech that she wrote, she says that ill-gotten monies will never ultimately serve the person.
Yeah.
Because what you do is you don't just play one trading game with people. you play a iteration of games time and time again, and by being the sleazy car salesman, you develop a reputation that will eventually result in nobody wants to cooperate with you.
And that is,
All
yeah.
the sleazy salesmen I have ever met, the sleazy businessmen who kind of lie and manipulate and deceive their way into jobs and throughout the course of jobs and gigs, they end up being the type of people who have to constantly live their life on the run, running from the consequences of the relationships that they've destroyed and the bridges they've burned.
Exactly. It's like Jordan Peterson says, right? This idea that every CEO out there is some kind of sociopath or psychopath is just wrong, because people that are genuinely psychopathic or sociopathic in that aspect, you don't make it to the top. Because in order to make it to the top, you have to build good relationships. You have to build strong relationships. People have to trust you. You have to show competence. And you don't do that by stabbing people in the back on the way up, because as you stab more people in the back, word gets out and people start to talk, and your reputation will end up preceding you and getting to the point where if you try to, as you're doing that, people go, yeah, this person's sleazy. They're terrible. They're not competent, and
You will never have access to the true wealth that I was mentioning before.
Exactly. And so you end up in the long run and ends up incredibly detrimental to be that kind of person. Although it might get you somewhere, it will never take you all the way, and your reputation will come back to bite you in the butt at some point. That's just how it works. That's just how life is.
Yeah, so back to the idea of the trader principle, right? The idea that the person who engages in trade, that the person who engages in rational self-interest in a capitalist system is the superior person. Well, a more effective trader is a more effective salesman. So in a way, you could say that the most moral path to take is to not back the blue, but to back the green. I mean, let's be honest. Selling is the world's most valuable and valued skill. Selling is more than just the medium between production and implementation. It is more than just a bridge between problems and solutions. To strive to be a master salesman is to strive for the mastery of social interactions, the development of personal and market presentations, the mastery of language and applied psychology, creative capacity, relationship development, and problem solving. I mean, it really is. Striving to be a good salesman is to strive to maximize the capacity of your rational mind to bring value to others and yourself.
I mean, yes, you are a salesman, Bucky. I get it.
And I'm better than you morally.
Yes, I know. You are significantly better than me morally. No, because like at the end of the day, you can always make an argument for doctors, going out there saving lives. That's what it is. What it comes down to.
But you know what Big Pharma needs? A really great salesman.
Yeah. So yes, speak to me about morality there. Yes. No, what it comes down to is expressing moral virtues in a positive manner and understanding that you can incentivize the behavior you want through trade, right? And that's what it really comes down to. Is capitalism takes the understanding that all people's motivations are going to be different. Some are going to be negative, some are going to be positive,
and people have subjective value.
Yeah. And so what it does is it says, all right, so seeing as how negative motivations are going to be the biggest detriment to the society, how can we take what would be perceived as negative motivators and incentivize it to be used in a good way? How are we going to take greed and positively incentivize it? Oh, by making it so that in order to be greedy, you have to be innovative and you have to improve people's lives to the point where as many people as possible voluntarily give you their money. That's a way to take what would normally be seen as a negative personality trait and give it a positive spin, right? And that's one of the biggest things that capitalism did. You can't be greedy and racist and be successful in a capitalist society, because as all people have,
if you're discriminating against skin color instead of the potential to produce value and to exchange value, then you're being inefficient.
Yep.
And capitalism celebrates efficiency in production above almost anything else.
Yep. The racist sees the continent of Africa and goes, the reason why Africa is poor is because it's filled with black people. And the capitalist, the greedy person, sees it and goes, hey, that's a poor country with a bunch of people who are ripe for cheap labor in the process of capitalism. They have just as much potential as anyone else. Let's invest in it, and eventually they will have built up an economy that is strong enough to turn from a production or manufacturing economy into a consuming economy as well. And it just takes the time and investment. You cannot be successfully, and that's why the smart greedy capitalist will be better than the racist capitalist, because the greedy capitalist will actually invest in the places that the racist capitalist won't,
right?
And will be successful in it.
A capitalist is someone who prioritizes the value of productivity, innovation, and efficiency over others, like other values such as, people who value skin color, like the left.
Yeah, the race essentialists who claim to be the non-racist. We're so not racist that we make race the most important thing that matters.
And again,
then gender.
Over and over, under the guise of having more noble motivations, because they believe that altruism and fairness is the highest moral virtue, they propose all kinds of policies that ultimately hurt people because they are less efficient and they bring less value to the broader society.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the greatest defense of capitalism on 1360 KHNC.
Higher rates, lower rates, negative rates, bail-ins, bailouts, and so much more. You know why you need to own gold and silver. At the Patriot Trading Group, we're a different kind of company. We have no commission salespeople, no boiler room sales calls.
You know what? I'm so sick of this shit. I wouldn't even get sick of it. I said, there's this, if you could find this and put it on the website, there's a scene in a movie called The Program from the 1990s, football movie. And the two defensive linemen do this thing right before a game. It's a black guy and a white guy. And they're like spitting. One guy spits in the guy's mouth, and the other guy spits back in the other guy's mouth. I want to put that meme on our Facebook. But I was talking about that scene. I was like, yeah, I'd be willing to do that. Those guys didn't get sick. I'm not going to get sick. So I started talking to them. People are calling, I'm going to donate $100 if you do it. So
you hear
Jason
that,
getting
folks?
getting his mouth spit in?
KHNC, we're literally going to spit in each other's mouths for money.
My price point is $3,000.
So from 1:30 to 2:30, I think on Friday, I'm going to invite people to come in and I'm going to have a cup and I'm going to spit in the cup.
That is disgusting.
From 1:30 to 2:30, right here at KHNC, come on by. You get the opportunity to spit in a cup, and Jason's going to drink it live.
Nope. Okay, I'm out.
Radio.
Tapping out. Nope.
I mean, this is radio sales. You are the superior man.
I'm tapping out. Nope.
We just hate masks. We hate vaccinations.
Oh
we
my
hate tests.
goodness.
Ah,
Brent
no.
says the CDC would love that.
I'm
All right,
turning
and
this
then
off. I
we'll
can't
prove
listen
that
to
you
this
can
anymore.
drink spit and not get sick.
I am.
We'll have to monitor my progress.
Woo! I'm tapping
We
out.
will monitor the progress.
You're too much
I'm
for me.
excited
Nope.
for this.
Nope. No. Just no.
This is ridiculous. Did you guys just hear that? Oh my goodness. I'm genuinely excited about this. Oh man, I don't know if you guys just heard what I just heard, but
Nope.
Oh my.
Nope. Not.
Goodness.
No. Not do. Nope.
From 2:30 to 3 o'clock, come down to the radio
Nope.
station. Spit in a cup.
No.
Jason's gonna drink.
No.
1:30 to 2:30. Jason wants to prove some kind of point.
Nope. I'm not on.
The
Nope.
power of the immune system. He's given a double bicep flex.
Nope.
This is incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You are witnessing the superior man. We were just talking about the person who is willing to trade value for value. Well, I would get tremendous value out of watching
No,
Jason
I
drink a
would-
cup full of spit.
I would
Absolutely,
vomit
man.
everywhere.
I'm excited for this. If you're not
I
here
would vomit
Friday,
everywhere.
you're wasting your life. You are the insuperior man.
I
Pure blood
am.
vaccination.
Nope.
The
I couldn't do
pure
it.
blood vaccination. Just take your booster shot. And we're actually talking about a boost of immunity in a shot glass.
Nope. I just nope. Not nope. Nope.
I can't believe it. I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening in this building on Friday, and I am proud to be in partnership with 1360 KHNC. Spit in my mouth Fridays.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Absolutely
We're
not.
doing it.
No. No.
No, that's a salesman.
That's something that usually you have to pay a lot of money for in Las Vegas, but no. I can't even think about what we were talking about.
I don't want to miss it. I want to live stream it.
No.
Yes.
Okay, you can be there. I won't. I actually will be in class anyway, so it won't matter. But still,
I don't know if I have the guts to even spit in the cup, let alone drink it.
oh God, dude, can we stop talking about it?
I don't know if I would even drink my own spit.
Can we stop talking about it? You're gonna lose me here. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I do.
No,
I'm excited.
Let's get back to it. This is gross. Let's get back to it. Oh my gosh! And Jason's
We
coming.
have Jason in
Oh,
studio
no.
to talk about this. In my opinion,
No.
proud endeavor. Jason, you're on the air.
I just want to say we were on Fake News Friday, and we were, doing what we do. We are against vaccinations, and we're against masks, and we're against those tests. But we started talking about there's this scene, so we need to get this posted on the website. But there's this movie. It's a football movie called The Program. So I think Kevin, you can probably find this, but
Yeah.
there's a movie called The Program. It's a college football movie, and it's about a top team. And there's two of the defensive linemen that get really big into it. How we're going to crush the quarterback. And there's a pregame scene where one player spits in the other guy's mouth, and the other one spits back into his mouth. And I was like, see, those guys didn't get sick, and they went on their top-notch athletes.
Yeah, it was a movie.
And if their immune systems are working great, so I'm going to prove that my immune system can handle.
It was a movie.
Everybody spitting into a cup, and I'll just down it. And I got people that are going to want to come in and donate to the station to see this thing. And I figure 1:30 to 2:30 because I don't want someone spitting like 2 days ago because that's not going to work. It'll dry up. So
No. That's a movie. It's a movie, Jason. Oh my gosh. It's like, sorry, but Star Wars. Just because in Star Wars they're able to come out at light speed.
Never kissed a girl and then didn't get sick.
Yeah, well, that's completely different. I'm very particular about
No,
these
it's
things.
exactly the same. And why is it?
She didn't spit in my mouth.
Why is it that when you make out with a woman and her bodily fluids enter your mouth, it's like nothing at all? But if she were to spit in a cup and you were to drink it 2 seconds later, everyone would be mortified. What's the difference?
There's a lot of difference there.
I've actually I've seen it. I don't do this, but I remember when I was younger watching guys walk around the dance floor kissing multiple people and not getting sick the next week.
I mean, I've had my adventures on the rec room floor and gotten very sick as a direct result. I have absolutely gotten very sick as a direct result.
Oh my gosh, it's a booster shot. That's what we're calling it. You're boosting your immune system in a single shot.
And you can get sick doing this, but here's the thing: is it's when your immune system is not doing well. If you go kissing a bunch of people or drinking off everybody else's glasses, if your immune system isn't ready, you'll get sick doing this.
But will you die from it? What doesn't kill you makes your immune system
I'm going to build up my immune system. I've been doing it since Friday. Well, I'll be ready for this thing, and we'll see. I could get sick. Yeah, I could.
Was it President Garfield that went
You
out
just need to build up
in the
cars.
cold without a jacket on to prove that he was a man and ended up dying of pneumonia afterwards?
No, he got shot, and then his doctor kept an open wound that got him infected.
No, there was a president. Taft. Was it Taft? No.
Maybe it was Coolidge.
I forget which one. I forget.
In the 1840s, I can't remember.
But there was a president that went out, gave his inaugural address in the freezing rain without a jacket on, and got pneumonia and died as a direct result of it. Because no, and this is no, guys. I can't do this. I am grossed out by the thought of this.
You don't want to add to the pod. You don't want to add to the pod.
No, I do not. I first and foremost have
The superior DNA, so I don't want to give anybody my DNA. Second off, this is gross. We could become brothers. You know, you spit in the hand and shake the hand. You know?
Well, that's different. That's way different. And Bucky found the soundboard again. Look at that. See, it's hard. It's no. There's a difference, right? I have gotten sick going around the rec room kissing women
I know
because
you got sick going around the locker room kissing.
yeah, kissing dudes. It happens, man.
What else were you doing around the time you were doing that? Were you drinking?
No, I was not. I was sober.
I have been drinking a tremendous amount recently. I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm going on day 4 of drinking every night.
Well,
that might not be good for you. See, that lowers your immune system.
yeah. Well, they say a glass of wine a day is
Well,
good for your heart.
And that could be okay.
Yeah, but you know
I don't stick to it.
that means if one glass is good for your heart, then 7.
I don't know if you guys knew this about your pal Bucky. I'm actually a fabulous drunk. I don't harass people.
You've said that before.
I don't create problems. I don't get in fights. I don't get all depressed and act like a social black hole sucking the joy out of the room.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
just
get
do that when you're
jolly.
sober.
Yeah, I do that when I'm sober. I'm depressed.
I'll let you guys finish the show. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jason, for grossing me out. Appreciate it.
Man, we really started this conversation today on like superior moral values and a moral code to life and
Spit in my
conducting
mouth.
yourself in such an honorable way. And now we've transitioned into spit in my mouth, please. 1360 KHS.
What's up, guys? It's Bucky Dillon from Your Morning Show. Understanding and maintaining the structural integrity of your home and most valuable asset is one of the most basic fundamental responsibilities of being a good homeowner. Right now, Pride Roofing Construction is offering free, no obligation roof and exterior health assessments so you know the exact condition of your home. And if there's minor damage, like a couple nails popping through the shingles, they'll seal it for free. Just call 970-825-9305.
I am
This is Mike Horn,
heartily
owner of
disgusted
Warriors
right now.
Revolution Tactical in Longmont.
I
Warriors
am
Revolution
woefully
selection of tactical gear
unprepared for
and
this level of nasty.
Oh my gosh. It's just, it really is exciting. It really is exciting. Oh, we do have a caller. We do have a caller.
Oh my gosh, ballsy person.
I am so ready. I am so ready. Yes, I have been living all my life to watch Jason drink a cup of spit. This is why I respect Jason. He's a man's man. He's got spirit. He's got power. He's got energy. He's got lightning. His immune system is big. It's got hot blood running through it fast. Why was Quinn Zimmerman blocked? Who's Quinn Zimmerman?
Oh.
I didn't think we blocked people. Who's blocked?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're here with the Liberty Revolt. I am still grossed out from that last little bit.
I am not grossed out at all. I am inspired and impressed. By the way, we do have a caller, so I want to put Mike from California
Oh my gosh.
on the air. Mike, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Bucky and Kevin, and Jason, if he's still on. I do want to say that Kevin does have superior DNA.
Yes.
But I admire his forbearance for not challenging that DNA by swallowing spittle from another person. I think great foresight, Kevin. Great wisdom. That's been obviously a great parental. You had great parental models to follow.
Yes. Yeah, that's where I got my superior DNA from. I had great suppliers in the form of mom and pop. Thank you, Mike from California. I appreciate the compliment.
All right, thank you.
Now, I am going to wholeheartedly disagree. Frankly, Kevin, I'm disappointed in you. I expected you would be a superior man, bringing value to the lives of others, value for value. And
No.
I will say, watching another man drink a cup full of spit, not just spit from one person, but spit from a variety of people. Anyone who walks in the door.
I want to
that
get off
brings
this topic.
tremendous value to my life, and I am ready for it. This just made my whole day. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference in the spirit and energy of Bucky, but Bucky just came alive, and my goodness,
why is this what makes you come alive? I'm kind of worried, kind of a little bit. I don't know, man. You got me a little bit worried right now,
man,
dude.
I'm not worried at all. I'm excited.
No.
I am ready for this. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be live streaming it. I'm going to be cheering it on. I'm going to be drinking for another consecutive day with joy in my heart and love in my spirit.
Bucky's trip. You're going to get listeners to the Liberty Revolt. You are going to get to follow Bucky's journey into the pits of alcoholism live on air over. He's going to come in. It's been 173 straight days of me drinking. If I stop now, I might actually die.
I mean, Venmo at libertyrevoltmedia.com. Sponsor this endeavor. Keep Bucky Dillon hot on the sauce.
No, let's not encourage Bucky to become an morning alcoholic.
What's wrong with it? I don't see anything wrong with a couple fingers of Jack in the morning coffee.
Do we want to tell him? It's not even noon. It's not even
happiness is healthiness. That's all I'm going to say. You're not healthy when you're totally depressed. And let me tell you, when Bucky's drinking, man, I get filled with joy. It's like, you know what?
I don't need.
Maybe I'm going to drink a cup of spit too.
No, God, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah. What, you're going to drink dude spit? You go around kissing dudes? Is that what it is?
I'm not scared. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
No.
Brent on the live stream says, reach out to missionrestart.net.
Look, and if you're making your coffee Irish every once in a while, that's one thing. But there's a limit to how many fingers of whiskey you should be having in the morning with your coffee.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm like thoroughly. I can't think of anything else but just my brain, like the image in my brain.
You are
right
the
now.
kind of person that doesn't have the internal emotional discipline to regulate yourself, even with a little alcohol in your system, you are not the superior man. This Friday, taking the booster shot. Jason Walker. 1360 KHNC.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow, find out how much it would cost to get Bucky to drink a gallon of sweat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Liberty Revolt on 1360 KHNC.
Glass doctor of really foggy window panes.
Bye, everybody. I got to get packed up real quick here. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again.
Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.